Hello everyone, I'm Nini FC and this is Blue Lines TV, and today I'm bringing you guys a match review on England's 6-1 win over Panama. And honestly you guys, it is kind of like a full-time madness that England are the reason why my mood is so good. Like honestly you guys, I'm feeling patriotic today. I think I might even go to the store and get a few carlins. It's getting that deep, for real. I'm going to be having fish and chips for dinner tonight, like I'm telling you guys. But honestly, very proud of this performance. I just want to say immediately now, a lot of people will be thinking straight up, of all people, why are you excited about England's win over Panama today? But in this match review, I'm going to be detailing all the reasons as to why there generally is something to be excited about, and all of the positives and negatives from this game. But you guys, you know what to do. Smash that like button. Help me get more than 600 likes for today's video, because we did win 6-1 today. And press the bell notification button as well to stay tuned to all things Blue Lines TV. And a few things I'm going to be talking about in today's video are why England's team synergy is on point. I'm going to be talking about the misconceptions around Jesse Lingard as well. I'm going to be talking about that world-class striker Harry Kane, why we're looking so fluid, why our set pieces are on point, plus a few general positives and negatives from this overall game. But you guys, I got to talk about them positives first. So actually, you know what? I might start with the negatives now to get them out of the way, because there aren't many negatives to talk about. The first negatives are going to be coming from Panama. Now, I personally feel the reason as to why they were so incredibly poor, not only was it just because of individual talent. I mean, let's be serious, they aren't the greatest players, but if you play as a team, that's the most important thing, because playing as a team beats playing as individuals. I personally feel the way they were coached and prepared for this game was awful. Why do I think this? They were just terrible from set pieces. They looked like a team that didn't understand who they had to pick up, who they had to mark, and also they're pressing off the ball as well. Now with England, there's a lot of off the ball movement that does confuse a lot of players, and Panama weren't able to keep their defensive shape properly. But I'm looking at how they're pressing. I'm noticing that, you guys are pressing high, but you're not man marking against England's back three. You know, when you play against back three teams, you need to use a man marking pressing system. It was extremely easy for England to play out and beat their press whenever. And once we beat their press, we can play direct passes straight through them to create goal scoring opportunities. So I definitely feel that it wasn't just us being very good today. There are some context as to why this was a very easy performance. And the last two negatives were Ashley Young. I kind of feel the reason as to why Danny Rose was brought on later on was because Southgate's probably thinking, shit, I don't think I can use Young against Belgium. I want to see what Rose can do playing on the left. And I think there's a massive possibility that we will be seeing Danny Rose against Belgium. I just think that too often he was allowing too many runs in behind. And you guys, there's a massive difference between playing in a defensive structure under Mourinho and playing in a different system. For example, Ashley Young at Man United, he has the support of another winger to help him when it comes to defending. Plus, we know that Mourinho is a very defensive-minded manager. Playing for England makes a bit more isolated. His positioning was poor. Too many times players are making runs in from behind him. And you guys, honestly, it's like once you see a better team playing against us, they're gonna really exploit that space that Ashley Young is playing in. And you guys, the last negative to talk about is Jordan Henderson. And I was saying this point during the watch along. I'm gonna say it to you guys again. I kind of feel that Jordan Henderson is the Edison Cavani of deep line playmakers. Now, a lot of you guys will get this immediately. For you guys, I don't get it. Well, what I'm trying to say is Henderson needs to play about 10 forward passes for one of them to be good. Too often when it came to playing the simple pass, he kept overhitting it every single time. Now, you guys know me, I'm a bit of a purist. I'm seeing guys like Tony Cruz getting 17 out of 17 long passes against Sweden. That's top quality. We don't necessarily have that. In an alternate universe, Michael Carrick is born in this generation. If a guy like him was playing in this England national team, it's game over. And I'm disappointed with Jordan Henderson because he was never getting pressed. He was never getting closed down. He had all the time and space to play quality balls, and every single time he kept messing it up. But you guys, it's time to talk about the positives of today's game. And there are so many positives from today's game, honestly. So many good points to talk about. The first guy I'm going to be talking about is Jesse Lingard. Now, you guys, I think that when it comes to players like Lingard in particular, we need to try and change our mentalities and how we judge these players. I think too often we rate players based on technical abilities, pieces of skill, great passes, etc., etc. But we miss out on the fine details of the game. You know, the players that have amazing reading of the game, the players that know when to make runs, that play for the team, that they can create spaces and chances for their teammates as well, and you know how to exploit the space as well. And then Lingard can do all of that. He does that to a very, very high level and top level, and it's because of what he does off the ball that this Gareth Southgate system works so perfectly. I mean, not only did he get the penalty for Harry Kane, that goal he took, top bins, them top bin efforts, I'm telling you, bro. That's what I come to watch World Cup for, to see efforts like that going in. Credit to Jesse Lingard, and credit in particular to Gareth Southgate for finally having an England team playing as a team. Fantastic credit to him. Obviously, I need to talk about the hat-trick hero, Harry Kane. You guys, on this channel in particular, you hear me make this point all the time. I think that Harry Kane is the Frank Lampard of strikers. Why do I say that? The guy perfects his game. The guy is always working on new things. He becomes more and more complete every single season. The penalties were just world class. And I was telling people in the chat during the watch along live stream that for the second goal, I can imagine Harry Kane aiming for the same place he put the first goal in. You know why? Because in a way, it's kind of like a message like, you know what, people? This is how good I am, that this isn't a fluke. I can do this shit for real. And I think that, again, he has the technical abilities to pull that type of stuff off. And again, you guys, remember this. During the last England campaign, international campaign during the Euros, we barely created any chances for the strikers. Kane barely got anything. The guy was told to do stupid things like take corners and set pieces. No chances were created for him. And this is why I keep saying Southgate's got to get more and more credit, because look at the synergy with the front three. Look how Kane complements that. He can play his natural game. He can drop deeper. He can attack the spaces. He can shoot. He can get inside the box. The spaces that Lingard and Sterling and the wing-backs create for him to run into, it's amazing. The guy's got 5 goals in the past 2 games. Phenomenal striker. Without a doubt, he is a world-class striker. And again, I hope he continues more and more impressive performances. And the last guy that I do want to talk about is Kieran Trippier. The guy's delivery is on point. The amount of top class delivery inside the box. Of course, I know that Panama were awful at defending them chances, but he's got to get credit for that shit as well. How many times have we seen throughout this World Cup people hitting the first man with their efforts every single time? Trippier was aiming for the right people, aiming for the far post, near post, far post, in the middle, playing it short. On point, on point. The guy's been doing bits so far. And the last guy I just want to briefly talk about is Ruben Loftus-Cheek. A lot of people will be thinking, well, did Ruben play well? I didn't see this guy play or touch the ball as much. You guys got to realise, and this falls in nicely in my next point with how England play, we don't look to play through midfield, you guys. It's all about those direct runs. It's all about getting the ball quickly to the strikers. And this is how guys like Ruben play such massive efforts in helping with this style of football. That's because he plays for the team. He understands how to keep his position, to create spaces for guys like Lingard and Sterling to do their thing. He understands what he needs to do. England don't play through midfield. Don't expect guys other than Henderson alone to be the ones to do anything for midfield. They're definitely there just to play more of a support role for the front 3 players to do their thing. So Ruben can't be judged on that, but the times where he does get the ball in the final third, you see his qualities. You see him attack the spaces, running past people, obviously inadvertently set the assist up for Harry Kane. He has those abilities as well, and he just synergizes very, very nicely with the team. Honestly, you guys, when it comes to England, the only player that could potentially lose their spot for me is Raheem Sterling. I mean, he was intelligent with his runs, but I don't think he did enough really in this game. I think guys like Ruben and guys like Dele Alli can try and take that spot from him. But you guys, just to wrap up this video, I just want to talk a bit about England, the system and the tactics. And again, credit to Gareth Southgate. It's the first time we've seen England playing as a team. The players understand their roles. We see the synergy, the chance creation. I mean, the creativity from set pieces was fantastic. It definitely played a part at getting the advantage over Panama. Of course, Harry Maguire at the far post is a dangerous option to have. The guy's leap, his size, his ability in the air, he's definitely helped a lot in helping us get the advantage when it comes to these attacking set piece situations. And you guys, one way to always judge how well a system and team are doing is when you see the types of ways that they create their chances. For example, Harry Kane. When have England ever really created chances for this guy? constantly getting in on goal. My God, as I said, 5 goals in 2 games is ridiculous. I think there was a stat on TV that said that every time he's been the captain for England, he's scored a goal, which is phenomenal. And again, with Gareth Southgate, you know, this guy, he was the manager of Middlesbrough not too long ago. I mean, he got them to a cup final as well. Most people would be like, well, actually, you know what? I don't have to coach at this level. And this is why I respect Gareth Southgate even more. You know, he really went to do his studying. He got all his coaching licenses. He wanted to understand and get a deeper learning and appreciation of the game. He took smaller jobs to work from the bottom to the top again. He's got his chance with England. He's doing amazingly well. We can finally start giving England credit. Now, you guys, for me, you know, I like to be very objective. Sometimes people think I can be a bit too critical, but I'm seeing a lot of positives with this England team. I think the only reason as to why we're not really going to be able to really go too far in the tournament, this is why I'm not saying we're favourites, is the fact that when it comes to decisive moments in terms of finishing a chance, I don't think we have that type of top class experience in certain positions. For example, you know, before John Stones got his 2nd goal of the game, Raheem Sterling had a chance to score, and really, being that close to the goal, the ball needs to go in the back of the net. There's no excuses in my opinion. It needs to go in the back of the net. And he missed a chance that close to goal. And I kind of feel that that's going to be synonymous with how our tournament's going to be viewed. But there's a lot of positives and benefits. As I said, England are planning for the future. They're looking to build. The foundations are being set in place. The right key players that are going to be playing for England for the next 10 years are in this team. The young talent coming through, the under 21s, under 20s, under 19s, under 18s, under 17s. It's ridiculous. And in those younger age groups, they're winning tournaments, they're winning trophies, and they're much better players at that age than what these current English players were at the same age. Things are looking good. There's a lot of growth, there's a lot of planning. Look at the top young English coaches coming up from this country as well. There's so many benefits. I mean, I'm very excited for the future of England. But honestly, it's just credit to Southgate in terms of the tactics for the team. I like how he uses the back 3. You know, we see Maguire push into midfield a lot. We'll see Walker push into midfield at times. We'll see Stones do that as well. There's an interchange, there's a synergy between these guys. I think with the front 3 in particular, I mean, you know, genius moves to use the off-the-ball running of Lingard and Sterling, because with their pace, their intelligence, their awareness to always attack the spaces, they never stop. They're constantly looking to pass and move, pass and move. It makes it very hard for teams to cope against that, especially when you can create so many overloads on counter-attacks and from attacking possibilities where players are making those late runs from deep, which is very hard. And when you've got a world-class striker up front as well, that does take his chances, that is very clinical, that only needs 1 or 2 chances to score a goal. Things do look positive, and the delivery coming in as well, the intelligence from the squad players as well. Ruben Loftus-Cheek really complements how we play in midfield, helped to create even more space for Lingard to do bits in this game. It's looking good, it's looking good. And of course, the big test is going to be against Belgium. I think it's going to be a very good game. Of course, I think it's best for England to top the group. You guys, if you don't know, if we top the group, we'll play against the runners-up of Group H. And Group H has Poland, Senegal, Japan, and Colombia. And honestly, with how we're playing now, with the team synergy, because we're playing as a team, there's no focus on individual players anymore. There's no guys like Gerrard in the team that look to play for themselves and not play for the team. We're going to be causing these teams a lot of problem, but devastating on the counter-attack, one of the best counter-attacking teams in this tournament so far. I mean, the only thing that I'm worried about is our defending. I think that we're not as good individually, and I think when it comes to taking top quality chances as well, but there's a massive possibility that you guys, we can get into the quarterfinal, and that's when things are going to get very exciting. But you guys, congrats to England, 6-1 win, the biggest win in our World Cup history. Expect a lot more videos coming at me from the future. You guys, remember, smash that like button, help me get more than 600 likes for today's video, and press the bell notification button as well to stay tuned to all things Blue Lions TV. Anyway, you guys, I'm the FC, this is Blue Lions TV, signing out.